This fake 3D text animation was made entirely on a phone using Alight Motion. No After Effects, no PC. In this video, I'll show you step by step how to create this realistic fake 3D text animation using just your smartphone. So let's start the video. You can see that I already have a background layer and a ruler layer in my timeline. The ruler layer is just a simple rectangular shape with an X value of 500 and a Y value of -1. Okay, now tap on the add icon, add a text layer, and type pop. You can type any word you like. Okay, let's align it to the center, change its color to white, set the font to Montserrat Black, and increase the size to about this much. Next, rename it to Guide, then tap OK. Now go to Move and Transform and scale it about this much. Remember, you're always free to choose your own font, color, and size. Okay, so while the layer is selected, duplicate it 2 times. Let's rename the first copied layer to Main and hide it. Rename the second one to Depth. Now go to Color and Fill and change the depth layer color to red. Also, move this layer below the guide layer. Next, tap on the depth layer, go to Effects, Add Effect, and here in the Repeat category, apply this linear repeat with standard settings. Here you can see that we immediately get some copies of this text. Okay, so let's increase the count value to 40. Now tap on the Position property. Here, decrease the X position to 40 and increase the Y position to 40. So you can see how we achieve this 3D looking text without any 3D effect. If this video is helpful to you and you are really enjoying it, please check out the link in the description below to download the project file. Okay, tap back and parent it to the guide layer so that when the guide moves, the depth follows. Let's undo. Here, if you notice, when we parent our depth layer, the depth gets affected. If you haven't noticed that, let me show you. Now if I tap the undo button, you can see that before parenting, this was the depth. If I redo it, you can see that the depth increases slightly after parenting. I'm not exactly sure why this happens, but it's not a big deal. Okay, now duplicate the ruler layer and place one on each side, as shown in the video. You can adjust their positions if needed. Also, move both of these layers all the way up. Now tap on the guide layer, go to Move and Transform, and add a position keyframe at the beginning. Go forward 1 second and change its position like this. Simply match the bottom and the right side of the guide text with the ruler as you see in the preview. Okay, now go forward 15 frames and manually add a keyframe here. Next, go to 2 seconds and 10 frames and change its position back to its initial position. Let's give it a play. So now we have this kind of animation. That's cool, right? Okay, let's unhide the main text and duplicate it 2 times. This gives us 3 layers, including the previous one. If your word has more letters, duplicate it that many times. Now tap on the first layer, go to Edit Text, and delete all the letters except P. Set the bounding box area to about this size, and also rename this layer P1. Let's place it over here. Okay, now do the same thing with the remaining 2 layers. Okay, to align perfectly, I'll temporarily change the guide text color so that if I place the letter on top of it, I can clearly see whether the text is perfectly aligned with it or not. Okay, so now let's animate the letters. First of all, tap on the P1 layer, go to Move and Transform. Here, on the Position property, add a keyframe at the beginning, then go to the 1 second and change its position to match the guide text. If letters block your view, you can temporarily hide them. Now go forward 15 frames and manually add a keyframe here. Then move your playhead to 2 seconds and 10 frames and change its position back to its initial position. Repeat the same process for the remaining letters. Let's give it a play. So here you can see that we now have a similar animation as before. Since the animation now matches the guide perfectly, we no longer need the guide, depth, and the ruler layer, so select them and delete. Okay, let's tap on the P1 layer, go to Move and Transform, and place the playhead between these keyframes. Then go to the easing curve, choose the Ease In curve, and adjust it like this. Between these keyframes, leave it as linear. Now move your playhead between these keyframes and adjust it like this. Now copy both of these easing curves one by one and paste them into remaining 2 layers, as shown in the video. So let's tap on the P1 layer and duplicate it. Okay, let's rename it to P1 Depth. Change its color to red and place it under the P1 layer. Here's an important tip to remember. Before parenting, always make sure your playhead is positioned at the beginning of the timeline. If your playhead is placed elsewhere on the timeline, when you parent the layer, you may encounter this issue. So make sure you don't miss this step. Okay, let's undo. Let's play. Here you can see that our depth is not properly following the letter P. This is happening because of the keyframes that are added to the layer. To fix that, tap on the depth layer, go to Move and Transform, and move your playhead to the last keyframe. Then tap on this keyframe icon and remove all of them one by one. Now if I play, you can see that our problem is gone. Here is another way to fix that problem that I want to show you. Let's tap on the O layer and duplicate it. Okay, let's rename it to O Depth. Change its color to red and place it under the O layer. Then parent it to O. Now if I play, you can see that we have the same problem as before. Okay, so let's tap on the depth layer, then unparent it by tapping on None. Next, go to Move and Transform. Tap on the 3-dot icon over here and choose Reset Location. Here you can see that all the keyframes have been automatically removed. Now tap back and parent it to O again. Now if I play, you can see that our problem is solved. So these are the 2 methods. You can use whichever you prefer. So let's apply the same technique to this P2 layer. Now you can see that the letter has moved from its position, so simply place it on top of the P like this. Okay, so now we are getting closer to finishing our animation. Now tap on the P1 depth layer, go to Effects, and Add Effect. Since we used this effect earlier, that's why it's showing in the Recent section, so let's apply it from here. Now let's increase the count value to 40. Next, tap on the Position property and set both the X and Y values to 40 as well. Okay, now select the count value, add a first keyframe at the beginning, move your playhead to 1 second, and reduce its value to 0. Next, move your playhead to 1 second and 15 frames, and manually add a keyframe here. Now go forward to 2 seconds and 10 frames, and increase its value to 40. Now tap on the Position property, here on the X value, add the first keyframe at the beginning, move your playhead to 1 second, and reduce its value to 0. Next, move your playhead to 1 second and 15 frames, and manually add a keyframe here. Now go forward to 2 seconds and 10 frames, and increase its value to 40. Next, select the Y value, and at the first keyframe, leave it as is with a value of 40. Next, move your playhead to 1 second and reduce its value to 0. Now, move your playhead to 1 second and 15 frames, and here also keep its value at 0. Now, go forward to 2 seconds and 10 frames, and keep its value at 40. Now tap on the P1 layer, go to Move and Transform, and copy this curve. Next, tap on the P1 depth layer and paste this curve between these keyframes into the Count and Position property, as shown in the video. Again, tap on the P1 layer, and this time, copy this curve and paste it between these keyframes into the Count and Position properties. Now copy this effect and paste it onto the remaining depth layers. So here you can see that our 3D text is ready. Now there's one final step to finish this animation. Okay, let's move both of these layers 5 frames forward, like this. And the other 2 layers are at 10 frames. Okay, now move your playhead to the beginning, select all 4 layers, and tap on this icon to extend these layers. Next, select all remaining layers, move your playhead to 2 seconds and 25 frames, and then split them from here. So, that's it. Let's play. So this is how you can create a realistic fake 3D text animation entirely in Alight Motion using just your phone. I've added the project file in the description so you can practice and tweak it yourself. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe for more professional motion graphics tutorials like this.